So let me ask you a question. When is it not good to be above average? Well, if you remember when we were in school, we wanted to be above average. We shot for A's and B's. We didn't want C's. A C is average. A is excellent. B, that's above average. And then we get out into the workforce. What do? We dress for success. We want to be above average. We're looking for that next promotion. We don't want to be average when it comes time for a review. We want above average. So when is it not good to be above average? Well, there are three things that I'll share with you where it's really not good for you to be above average and what you can do about it. But here's a little secret for you. I think you, a friend of mine who's hanging out with Popsy Guy, is above average in all things except these three. So the first one, surprise, surprise, did you know that in 2025 that the average car payment, new car payment is, get ready for this, $760 a month. $760, that's the average. Oh, don't you remember, it wasn't that long ago, just a decade or so ago, not even that, where if you could find a good apartment for $760 a month, you were living large. Probably a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment, probably in a place like this, where you could just enjoy life. That is not even half of what it costs to rent an apartment. I'll talk about that in a second. But here's the other one that kind of blew me away, and you've seen my video, hopefully, on why would I pay $50,000 for this car. The average monthly payment for a used car is $550 a month. So those are two areas where I encourage you, or I encourage you to encourage others, don't be above average. Because in that situation, and the other two situations that I'll share with you, is really what you're doing is you're borrowing money you don't have to buy things that you don't need to impress people that you don't like. That's just the American way. We're consumers. We want to look the part. We want to drive the nicest cars. We want to have the more fancy house than our neighbor. We want to do all these things because that's how the American system works. How's it working out so far? So, don't be above average. My solution, you've seen me say this before, you've heard me say it before, buy a good used car. Really take your time, squirrel some cash away, and go look for a good used car. And guess what I'm suggesting, because it's something I'm going to do, is I'm going to go look for cars with over 100,000 miles on them. Oh, I know, you say, Popsy Guy, 100,000 miles, that's way too much. You know how many things I'm going to have to fix? No, not true at all. You buy a good Toyota, whether it's an Avalon, a Lexus, a Camry with over 100,000 miles on it, you're going to have that car for a long time. And your job is to maintain it and take care of it, and it will do the same for you. So here's the recommendation. If you are in the market for a car, forget about new cars. Forget about financing used cars. It's a sucker's game. Did you know that now finance companies are extending loans out to, I think it was 92 or 94 months? When I saw 84 months, which is 7 years, I thought that was crazy. A 7-year car payment? That's what car dealers will do to you. They'll just say, how much can you afford every month? And all of a sudden, you're not buying the car, you're buying the financing. So don't do that, whether it's a new car or a used car. What you need to do is take your time and go look for a high quality used car that everybody else is thumbing their nose at because it's got over 100,000 miles. I think Facebook Marketplace might be a good place to look. I'll tell you another kind of morbid place to look, but you can find a deal. You drive through some senior living communities or some housing, some neighborhoods where you know are a lot of older people, and look for sale signs on cars, because unfortunately the reality is that that person may not be around anymore and the family is trying to unload the car and they'll take a cash deal on the spot. I know that's kind of morbid, but listen, if you're looking for a deal, you got to look everywhere right now. Otherwise, you're just going to spend money you don't have to impress people that you don't like. So that's number one. $760 a month is the average for a new car payment. Number two is mortgage payments. Now, we all know what's happening in the housing market, right? It depends on who you're listening to. And each of these three that I'm going to share with you are certainly dependent on your geographical location. So, here in Northwest Florida, I think we're about average. The mortgage payment for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage is running somewhere between $2,200 and $2,500 a month. And the rent is averaging around $1,700 a month. Once again, if you're above average, that means you're paying more than the average. And I've seen it, and you've seen it, where people are biting off more than they can chew and buying houses that are more than they need just so that they can impress people they don't even like. Rent is a different story. My personal opinion, I love following macroeconomics. I think with the building of apartments, specifically luxury apartments, this is the biggest increase in new built apartment buildings in this country since the early 1970s. I think there's going to be a glut of people looking for places to live. This is why the apartments are going up, and they're going to have to stay competitive. So if you can hold on before you make that decision to purchase a house that probably is not something you need right now, and I'm talking about a really big house, 4 or 5 bedroom, 3.5 baths, yada, yada, yada. Rent. Find an area where you can afford the rent. And I'll talk about that in a second because that worked out very well for us just recently. So being above average in mortgage payment or rent means that you're paying closer to that $2,500 or more, or that $1,700 or $1,800 a month or more. And so the other thing I want to share with you is, do you know what the average per capita income in the United States is? Sit down, hold on to your chair. Per capita means, is a fancy, I believe it's a Latin word, which means per person, not household, but what the average worker in the United States makes. And of course, we're talking averages. There's going to be so many people above that number and so many people below that number. But what ends up happening is the higher numbers have a tendency to push the average up, which makes this statistic even scarier, is that it's $48,000 a year is the average per capita income. So let's do some quick math without a calculator, just in our heads like we were taught. Let's say you're the average new car buyer and your car payment is $760 a month, and you are the average mortgage holder and that is $2,500 a month. You're at $3,260 a month out the door on a $4,000 gross income. You see where I'm headed? Neither of those two expenses are necessary for you to live a comfortable life. You can get away with a less expensive car, paying cash as I suggest, and a not so dramatically beautiful place to live and save a lot of money. But again, I'm not speaking to you because I know you're above average at everything, especially income. I can just tell, I see you. But I want you to pass this on. This channel, again, is all about experience, wisdom, encouragement, and a little bit of humor. So pass these things on, and I know you're trying. Trust me, I know you're trying. But don't let people that you know in your life get sucked into the commercialism that we're all bombarded with. Did you see my video the other day about how commercials are psyops? Basically getting you to do things you wouldn't otherwise do based on scarcity or fear of loss or buy now because this deal will never come around again. That's where people get hurt. So those are two of the things that are above average. And I had a third one, and forgive me because I got to go to my notes on this one, so kind of windy. I hope I don't lose it in the water. Where are we? Oh, yes, the bonus one, the third one. Credit cards. How can I forget that one? Oh man, I'll tell you what. Baby boomers like us, we hold the least amount of credit card debt with an average of about $5,300. But if you average in different generations, Gen X, Gen Y, baby boomers, the youngers, the alphas, I don't even know what's before that, it's about $7,200 per card holder balance on a credit card. $7,200 $200. The average interest rates, depending on your credit score, can vary anywhere from 18%, now get this, to 32%. You know what 32% interest is? That's legal loan sharking. I mean, that, as I said, that's gonna make the mafia bosses blush. The leg breakers, like 32%, man, that's a lot of money, man. I can't do that. That's not even fair. But if you're a bank, it's okay to charge the most vulnerable, the ones that most likely will have no chance at $4,000 a month, a $760 car payment, and a $2,500 mortgage payment to pay off that $7,200 balance at 32%. Don't be above average. So those are three things, right? That just kind of, that's the world we live in now. This is the world that we live in. And so you, being a little bit older and a little bit more wise and probably have seen the things change, I mean, when we were growing up, it was get out of high school with a good GPA, go to your guidance counselor. That person will tell you what college you should go to. You're going to get a management degree in business. You're going to climb your way up the corporate ladder. You're going to claw. You're going to eat people's eyeballs out. And you're going to come out at the top, if not the CEO. And you'll have a lifelong retirement plan paid for by the company because they love you so much that you'll never have to worry about money again. Social Security, that's for the people that didn't plan. That's not you. Well, how's that working out for a lot of people right now? So, it's too late for us, but it's not too late for the generations behind us. Don't fall for it. The whole world's paradigm is shifting. The things that we took for granted are no longer cast in stone. Everything is cast in dirt now. Red lines in the sand, if you will. So do me a favor and do yourself a favor and your family. Show this video to the youngins who are being bombarded day by day on why they should have the best, why they deserve it. Their generation is the generation that the boomers actually drove into the ground. The YOLO, you only live once, or the, what's the other term that is very popular now? Doom spending. Just spend because there's no way that we're going to get out of this, so you might as well enjoy the ride while you can. Well, we are going to get out of this. It may take some time. You and I may not be around to see it, but even though we've reached our life expectancy as a republic, as a nation, I feel good about this country. I really do. I think this is the country that a lot of places around the world would like to be. Begrudgingly, they have respect for us, only because of our work ethic. And I can tell you right now, your work ethic is amazing. I just know that. I know that you will do what it takes to do whatever you have to do. I mean, it sounds kind of weird, but I know you. And I know that's what you think. We just have to get the other folks that are behind us to think the same way. So that's the encouragement for today. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. What we're trying to do is build a community of like-minded people that want to help in any way we can with our experience. And so I appreciate you spending time with me. I'm the only one. What I decided to do, just so you know, is I decided to walk on the bay side of the beach today because that's a lot quieter. I mean, I can actually hear the waves on the beach side, and I'm the only one here. So that's my attempt at what we call in the business B-roll. Anyway, you all have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks again. Bye-bye.